such an award is necessarily the best all-around judgment, and that's the feel one gets from this station. There's an attempt to cover just about everything. Good explanatory video, good anchoring, and a solid, trustworthy sportscaster. That's the way the Maine Association of Broadcasters described Channel 5 News when it was honored as the best newscast in the state of Maine. WABI-TV, your live eye station.
Come on and share it. Channel 5 Spirit, oh yes.
For Eastern and Central Maine, this is Channel 5 News at 11. With Felicia Knight, sports with Tim Throckmorton, and weather with meteorologist Carey Kinsey.
Good evening. Tonight we are 30 days short of the one-year anniversary of the flood of '87. People are looking anxiously at the snowpacks in the mountains, wondering if the spring of '88 will bring a repeat performance. And tonight, Winterport, a town which has the Penobscot River at its feet, is in danger of losing its flood insurance. As Barbara Barr reports, residents argue tonight over an upcoming vote on the town's floodplain ordinance.
You wanted to...
Winterport's emergency floodplain ordinance is set to expire this spring. If residents don't approve a new plan, homes within the flood zone would not be able to get flood insurance.
It helps the people down there to be able to get the insurance so that you can get your mortgage. You're able to sell your house if you want to without being in the...
Without the insurance, homeowners would have difficulty selling. Banks would not approve loans, fearing that their mortgages would get washed down the river. But some residents were more concerned about zoning regulations imposed by the ordinance.
It puts a big burden on the property owner to prove whether he should be allowed to build in these areas. And I think that's kind of an unjust thing to...
Others were simply upset because the town refused to give them copies of the ordinance.
How can anybody read it? Now, I personally am in favor of the insurance, but I am not in favor of people being asked to vote on something that they don't understand.
The town will vote on March 14th, just before the onset of flood season. Barbara Barr, Channel 5 News, Winterport.
Following his victories in New Hampshire and Maine, Democratic presidential candidate Michael Dukakis has won the Vermont primary. Jesse Jackson has come in second. The Vermont primary is non-binding for the delegates, so it was virtually ignored by all the candidates in favor of Super Tuesday states. And for the Republicans, George Bush appears to be the winner in that race, followed closely by Kansas Senator Robert Dole. And a week before the Southern voters assert themselves, Representative Richard Gephardt paid a call on former President Jimmy Carter, a prominent Southern Democrat. But Carter made it clear that with fellow Georgian Sam Nunn not in the race, he has no plans to endorse any of the Democratic presidential candidates before the Atlanta convention.
I've been watching with great attention, from a distance at least, what goes on in the Democratic Party, and very eager to help the nominee once that person is chosen.
Former President Carter has met with all of the Democratic presidential candidates. The jobless rate in Maine for the month of January rose by nearly 2%. The Department of Labor reports an unemployment rate of 5.5%, due mostly to holiday layoffs. The next step on the road to new employment has been taken in Belfast. As former Penobscot poultry workers lined up for unemployment benefits, they also got a line on job training. Kathy Gintner reports.
When you get down here, when it asks you how much you earned last week, you just put a question mark in there.
The line formed early, and it is very long. Former Penobscot poultry workers looking for help. Help applying for unemployment, help filling out the forms, and there is even help from potential employers. Morale is good among these people. Most have hope for new futures.
I'm going to see if I can train for an NA or an LPN.
I'd really like to go to Fort Halifax if I could, but that's up to them,
The session was moved here to the American Legion Hall because of the crowd. Filing for unemployment benefits is a new experience for Warren Ard. He's had a job for the past 50 years. How does that feel?
Strange. I've never drawn any unemployment benefits.
Many workers spent years at the plant doing the same job day after day. They never had to know how to read. That is until today.
And to be retrained, we feel that you really have to have reading skills. To read a manual, you have to have reading skills. To go through a course, you usually have to have reading skills. So we're here to say we're here for you.
Today is just the beginning of the help for the displaced poultry workers. The main job service will be here again tomorrow, and job training assessment classes will be held all this month at the Curling Club in Belfast. Kathy Gansner, Channel 5 News, Belfast.
Coming up next, Carey Kinsey, and he says he's going to clear the clouds away that we had today, and tomorrow we'll see blue skies. Well, it was just, as you said, just a little band of clouds, dropped a little bit of snow, but you're going to shoo those away from
Gonna throw them out of here. Yeah, about 1,000 feet thick, that's all. That's what it took to do the forecast in. We thought yesterday we'd have a nice sunny day today. I think we'll have a lot more sun tomorrow than we had today. Now, not everyone didn't have the sun today. There were a lot of areas out there that had a real nice day. We got stuck, though. We had a little bit of clouds due to a little disturbance coming through that slowed down. Let's look at what we had. 31 was the high, which wasn't too bad for the first day of March. When you consider last year on this day, we were digging out of a 3-day snowstorm. It began yesterday, snowed today, and snowed again tomorrow, about 18 inches of snow in Bangor in the 3-day event. The low is 20, which is our current reading at this time. The normal for the first day of March would be 34 and 17. We've been up as high as 53, and we've been down as low as -1. The record lows are starting to come up a bit now, and let's hope that in like a lamb doesn't mean out like a you-know-what. Let's hope we get our bad weather during the middle of March and have a nice early season warm spell to end the month. 6:15 your sunrise tomorrow morning, and 5:21 your sunset. Looking at the situation at this hour, you can still see that pesky band of clouds on the 11 o'clock satellite picture. You see that right here? That's in association with a little weak upper-level disturbance that was supposed to roll through and move into the storm out in the eastern Maritimes. Well, that slowed down today right over eastern and central Maine, and that's what dumped the flurries. And you can see them now moving from about Caribou down to Eastport, and they'll move right on out. And this is what we should have tomorrow. But in the afternoon, late in the day, some of these clouds will start to spread in. But I do think that most of tomorrow will be dominated by this high-pressure system moving eastward and replacing the brisk northwesterly winds that were associated with the low out to the east and the high to the west. And the winds and swells along the coast, not too bad on the winds, up close to gale force and gust, but the swells, sea swells, because of that storm out over the eastern Maritimes, should diminish tomorrow considerably. Let's move on and take a look here at the movie loop. First of all, I'll show you the temperatures to show you some of spring showing up. Look at them down in Texas. 80 degrees in El Paso. A lot of nice things going on in El Paso today. Hope you enjoyed the pageant. And see also that Presidio, Texas was 89 today. It was 86 across areas of McAllen, Texas. Laredo was 86. 80s across up into Oklahoma. Even 56 degrees in Chicago today. So there's some hints of the warmer temperatures of spring coming in. Several disturbances on the movie loop. You can see one swinging down over the Great Lakes. That's the one that will come through tomorrow night. The second system you see here developing across the middle part of the country, right in here, is the southern low-pressure system. Now what's going to happen, I think, is this one to the north is going to swing through tomorrow night and bring a weak front through, so just a few high clouds with that. And then the southern system, which is kicking off the first batch of spring thunderstorms over the Southland, probably a couple of convective outbreaks. This is the beginning of tornado season down there. That low-pressure system will move northeast, so a piece of high will follow this little front through tomorrow night, and then this low will come on up. And I do think we'll see some high clouds, but not a bad day on Thursday. What I'm concerned about is how close the moisture from this storm gets to us on Friday. It looks like Thursday night and Friday we could be in for a threat of a quick-moving low-pressure system threatening some snow through our area. Now, let us check the forecast for you. For the rest of the night, clear with the exception of eastern Maine, where there will be a few clouds and flurries diminishing. Brisk northwesterly winds should start to diminish. Lows of around 0 in the cold spots, 10 in Bangor, 20 on the coast. Tomorrow we'll go for partly to mostly sunny. We try again when we can't get it right. Light northwesterly winds and temperatures in the 20s west and north, around 30 in Bangor, 35 on the coast. Tomorrow night, those high clouds in the area, that'll keep the temperature up to 20. Thursday, sunshine through the high clouds, more high clouds late in the day, and around 30. And then we'll see the winds on the coast that are brisk out of the northwest and the seas running up to 8 feet begin to diminish. Fair visibility, a few more clouds and flurries down east. Partly sunny tomorrow with diminishing west-northwesterly winds on Wednesday into Wednesday night. So we'll just have to see how close that next weather system gets here Thursday night. So it looks good until then.
We'll take that. Thank you very much, Carey. Still to come tonight, a report from the Middle East where the captors of Lieutenant Colonel William Higgins say he's going on trial. 2 United Nations relief workers kidnapped a month ago in Lebanon have been freed. A group called the Revolutionary Cells has issued a statement saying Jan Stenning of Sweden and Wilhelm Jorgensen of Norway have been proved innocent. It doesn't say what they were accused of or where they were released. The Swedish Foreign Ministry confirms their release, but there's no word on their whereabouts. Also from Lebanon tonight, the kidnappers of U.S. Marine Officer William Higgins have issued a statement saying they will put him on trial for espionage once his interrogation is completed. The kidnappers claim Higgins, who was part of a UN observer team, is a CIA spy. Wyatt Andrews reports.
It was the first message from Higgins' kidnappers since his videotaped appeal 8 days ago. The kidnappers today said they will try Higgins on espionage charges and that the trial would be held on behalf of the Palestinians. The statement came with a threat. Any hand that reaches out to hurt our pride, Islam, or the dignity of our people will be chopped off.